Hey y'all, it's Leslie with Because Mama Said So. Tonight I have a back to school night called Camp Kindergarten, where I'm going to meet some of the new incoming kindergartners and possibly some of the students that I'll be taking care of as a paraprofessional. And I have been wanting to film a video on Flylady basics. So I thought, while I'm sitting here and I'm doing my makeup getting ready for tonight, we would go over Flylady basics. So if you are not familiar with the Flylady is this awesome, wonderful woman who wrote a book called Sync Reflections. So Sync Reflections is basically a Bible of how to put routines in place in order to get your house clean. And so the Flylady, she's called that because she was teaching fly fishing lessons, and so they called her the Flylady. She has a book, she has a website, she has an app, and I'll go over all of that during this video. But the most important thing to understand about the Flylady is that her heart is to help people who are living in chaos. And she refers to chaos as can't have anyone over syndrome. And so she likes to break her cleaning routines into basically 3 major domains as far as this video is concerned. If you read the book, there are other things, like she has control journals to kind of run your whole house, and all of that kind of stuff. She has a crisis cleaning guide for if you have people coming over and your house is absolutely a mess and you really just need to start from the top down. But her big thing is jump in where you are, start where you are. Don't worry about getting it all perfect and all right, which this mama loves that because we don't do perfect on my channel. But basically there are 3 major parts. She has daily activities. She has monthly zone cleaning activities. And she has things that different days of the week allotted for different things too. So let's start with daily activities. So she breaks them up into 3 different things: morning, afternoon, and evening. And I will go ahead and tell you, I work full-time and I'm in school full-time. So I do not really do the afternoon routines because I'm usually, you know, helping some little kid to read at school. So I don't do the afternoon, but the afternoon routines can be kind of spread out into, you know, like your morning or your evening routine. And honestly, the afternoon routine has more to do with self-care. And that's one thing I love about the Flylady routine is that just as much as it is about cleaning, it's also just that much about taking care of yourself. So morning routine usually starts with getting up, getting dressed, all the way to shoes. She's very she's very specific about getting dressed all the way to shoes, because if you have your shoes on, you're more of a mindset and an attitude that you are going to get things done. So in the morning you are getting dressed all the way down to shoes. She has where you give your toilet a swish to clean it. You wipe down your bathroom vanity, all while you're getting ready. These are things that are incorporated into what you're already doing. You unload and reload your dishwasher, get a load of laundry started, and kind of look at your calendar and get your day set. The afternoon schedule is set up for things like exercise, making sure that you're drinking your water, also looking at your calendar to decide what you're having for dinner that night, which if you meal plan, you'll know what that is in the morning. So she says, is there any prep work that you can do for yourself for dinner that will make 4 hours from now you a little bit happier when you've, you know, got kids coming home from school and stuff. And again, this is making the assumption that you're staying home or you're home during the day. If you're not, this is something you would have done in the morning, you know, or even the night before, looked at your calendar, looked at your meal plan, and had things set out and ready to go. Your evening routine is going to consist of things that set you up for success for the next day. You're going to put, like for example, put things at your launch pad. She calls the launch pad the place where when you walk out of the door, everything is sitting there ready for you to go, whether or not that's your book bag or your purse or whatever already set up, ready to go, whether it's lunches kind of pre-made for the next day, or it's, getting your kitchen in such a way that you are set up to when you come in the next morning, you are all ready to go. She's big on leaving your sink shiny. So she says no dishes in the sink at night because that helps to set the tone for the next day when you're coming into your kitchen. Also, going to bed at a reasonable hour is a big deal for her. Because again, self-care, laying your clothes out so that way you're not rushed the next morning. That's really important. So those are the daily tasks. Those are things that are going to be on your to-do list, things that you are going to do every single day. And again, you can be flexible with this because her schedule may not fit you. You might have to move it around. Also, there might be things that are more important to you to get done that make you feel better mentally than the things she has on her list. And that's okay, because the whole point is for you to feel successful and to feel good in what you're doing. So next, let's talk about the day of the week activities. Every day is set aside for something different. Before we talk about those daily activities, let's start with something called weekly home blessing. Now, this is an activity that she has written down for Monday, but again, because everybody's schedule is different, I actually do weekly home blessing on Saturday because that is what works best for me. I've gotten to the end of the week and I'm ready to kind of reset my home. And the tasks included in weekly home blessing have to do with just little things that kind of like spruce up your house and again, bless your family. There's things in there like dusting, vacuuming, mopping, washing your doors and your mirrors, changing bed sheets, all these little things that are just really nice to kind of bless your family and to make things really, really special and kind of let them know mama was there. I include in my weekly home blessing also changing out my Scentsies because again, it just adds to this like nice cozy feeling of my house and it makes everything smell good. And so that is the day during weekly home blessing that I do, they change out my Scentsies. Now, weekly home blessing is supposed to last for right about an hour, which is another reason that I put it on Saturday because I actually have the time to do it. So you're taking about 10 minutes per activity. And once you're done with that 10 minutes, you're done. You're done. You don't try and stretch it out and make it crazy and make it laborious. The whole point is just to bless your home, just to kind of be the sparkle fairy that's gone around your house and said, clean sheets. Ooh, I vacuumed. And I will say this, your dusting, mopping, and vacuuming are on all the main areas of the house. You're not doing bedrooms, you're not doing, bathrooms and stuff like that with the mopping and the vacuuming and everything, because that will be included in the thing we're going to talk about next, which is your zone cleaning. Before we get into zone cleaning, we'll wrap up daily focus. So Monday was weekly home blessing, and like I said, I do this on Saturday, but she has it on her schedule as weekly home blessing Monday. Tuesday is plan and play day. This is the day that you plan out your meals, you plan out your calendar, and also you go out and you play and you do whatever that means for you. This could mean shopping. This could mean going out to lunch with girlfriends, but that's what you do on Tuesday. Wednesday is anti-procrastination day. This is the day that you find a project that you have been putting off, and you've been putting it off, but today is the day. Wednesday, anti-procrastination day. Thursday is errand day, and that's self-explanatory. That's the day you're going to run to the post office, go to the grocery store. And Friday is clean out your purse and your car day, and also date night. Saturday is family fun day, and there's no cleaning there. It's strictly just family fun. And finally, Sunday is Renew Your Spirit Day, where you choose to do things that day that renew you and feed you spiritually. So zone cleaning is the Flylady's way to have a little more deep cleaning built into your schedule. So for example, and this might get a little confusing, there are 5 zones and they correlate to weeks on the calendar. And so, when you look at your calendar, there's always, like that first week that might have like 2 days in it or 3 days in it. And then there's the second, third, fourth, and then there's usually a fifth week on your calendar, but it only has 2 or 3 days. Flylady has designed this very specifically to where you have during zone 1, that very first week, which oftentimes only has a couple of days, is going to be your entranceway, your porch, and your dining room. Those are smaller areas that probably they're not like the kitchen, you're not going to need a lot of more in-depth time. And later when we get over to talking about the app, you'll see that on the app, she has like a detailed cleaning list for each of these zones. So that way, if you're kind of like, I'm not really sure where to start or what to clean, because here's the thing, right now you might be living in absolute chaos and you might be thinking, oh, I know exactly what to clean. But once you get onto kind of a system, you actually find yourself walking in and being like, wow, for the very first time, my counters are already clean and my stove is already clean and my dishes are already done. And I've got 15 minutes in this zone today and I don't know what to do because these are the things that I would normally be focusing on. You will get there. You'll get there. So with zone cleaning, every day of that week, you are going to be doing 15 minutes a day in that zone. And so there's the detailed cleaning list, which again, we'll go over that when we do when I show you the app. But like, for example, week 1 is porch, dining room, and entranceway. So this might be 15 minutes sweeping your front porch, 15 minutes sprucing up the wreath on your front door, 15 minutes decluttering your dining room table. And this is important when we talk about zone cleaning. You can't clean clutter. That is a Flylady commandment. You can't clean clutter. And so when you're starting out your zone cleaning, you're not going to clean a thing for those 15 minutes until you have completely decluttered that zone. So if that means in your dining room, spending the whole 15 minutes organizing the bills and stuff like that on your table that have piled up, or putting away art supplies and getting that all put away, that's going to be the thing you're going to focus on before you worry about cleaning anything, because you cannot clean clutter. And in the Flylady, the book, she has all kinds of ideas. Like she has look at your hot spots, places where things build up. For some people, this might be a nightstand. It might be your dining room table. It might be the end of your counter where everybody drops off their stuff, or it might be the coffee table. Wherever things build up, that's going to be your hot spot. And so that's going to be the thing you're focusing on during your zone cleaning if you have a lot of clutter, before you even worry about the detailed cleaning list. The second week on the calendar is zone 2. And zone 2 is going to be the kitchen. And again, you can't clean clutter. So when I very first started doing this system with cleaning, I actually decluttered like my spice cabinet, my appliance cabinet, all of those things, because they had gotten absolutely just ridiculous. Like, spices that had dumped over, little open bags of stuff that needed to either get tossed or, organized in some way. And so that was the first thing that I did. I went through and I got rid of some of my Tupperware. I went through all my coffee mugs and everything. So that way I didn't have the clutter to deal with before I actually went in to push to do the deep cleaning detailed list. And so again, this is only 15 minutes a day. So if you're doing 15 minutes a day, 7 days a week, you're adding up to, a couple hours a week of really good deep cleaning in that zone, but you're only doing 15 minutes a day. So it's not overwhelming. So then you can go into your detailed cleaning list, like, pulling things out and wiping down cabinets, cleaning your stove, pulling your stove out and cleaning behind it. Oh my God, have you ever done that? We just recently had to put in a new micro vent and I had to pull my stove out. Dear God, I literally was like, it was so bad. So bad. So zone 3 is going to be the kids' room and other bathrooms, not your master bathroom, kids' rooms and other bathrooms. This is where you're going to, again, declutter, deep clean, and have your cleaning list. And again, you may have to start out by purging toys. I know this is not the kids' favorite thing to do, is to purge toys, but you might have to do it, because if you have 975 stuffed animals, like my daughter Scarlett likes to do, she likes stuffies, as she calls them, and she has so many of them, and we just had to be like, okay, we're gonna have to take care of some of these stuffies, because I can't live like I can't live like this. So in the kids' bedrooms, this might be going through their clothes and kind of culling out some of, the clothes that don't fit. And you're going to do this 15 minutes a day for this week 3. That's going to be your zone cleaning time. And you might find that, once you've got everything decluttered, then you can go do baseboards, you can do windows, you can do all of that kind of stuff, clean out from under beds and everything, which that's wonderful. And you'll get to a place, honestly, I promise you, you'll get to a place where this zone cleaning will just, at some point, you'll feel like I have cleaned everything there is to clean. Week 4 is your master bedroom and master bathroom. Now, if your house is set up in such a way that you don't have a master bathroom, you just have one bathroom in the house, you can rearrange these days. Like, you might actually have a full basement family play area that you want to make an entire zone by itself. You can personalize this, but generally most houses are kind of set up like this. So this is the day you're gonna be doing your master. Get my eyeliner on. You're gonna do your master bedroom and master bathroom. Again, you're gonna declutter. I know for me, I had to get in and I had to get into a bathroom cabinet that was just absolutely atrocious before I could even start worrying about deep cleaning my bathroom. But there's detailed cleaning lists too on her app, which I'll show you here in just a second. And your final zone is going to be the living room. Now, the living room, you can go in, and again, you'll probably need to declutter something. For me, it's a bookshelf. I have a bookshelf that just tends to collect things. This might also include taking down seasonal decorations and putting up new decorations. I know for me, I'll be filming pretty soon a video getting my fall tree up, because I love all things fall, and I am super excited to get my fall tree up, and I love my fall decorations. How many times can I say fall in a video? But you're spending 15 minutes a day in that zone, giving that particular area love. And there's, again, a detailed cleaning list for that too in the app. But you'll get to a point where all of this will become second nature, and you really won't have to look at an app. You'll just instinctively kind of know what you're supposed to be working on. Oh, eyebrows. Better. All right. Tonight's going to be pretty fun, meeting all the new little kindergartners and stuff. So we've gone through the daily tasks, we've gone through the zone cleaning. And so let's talk a little bit about Flylady philosophy. Flylady is very big on start where you are. Don't worry if you don't do it perfectly. And her big thing, her big motto is housework done incorrectly still blesses your family. Which means even if you are not perfect at what you're doing, it still blesses your family, because you're still putting that time and that effort into taking care of your people. And it shows, it matters. And here's the thing, it matters that someone is the manager of the home. It matters that someone, is taking care of the home. And she does address in her book, if you feel like, your family is not helping out like they should, or you feel like, they're kind of taking you for granted. And she's kind of like, in a perfect world, would there be help? Absolutely. But if there's not, you have to start first, because if you have set up clutter and, disorganization for yourself, it's difficult, because, we're setting the example for our kids, and it's really hard. It's really hard to sometimes admit that, I'm not a very clean person. I'm kind of messy. I'm very messy. Anyone that's ever known me in the history of ever knows I'm kind of messy. I get excited about things. I get excited about projects, and then, I move on to something else. I might have, I was a hairdresser for 25 years, and I joke that all hairdressers have some form of ADHD, because, we're just continuously going from project to project and person to person and thing to thing, So it was difficult for me to admit that I'm not a very neat and tidy person. And when I get frustrated with people for not helping me, it's like I have to ask myself, what part of this did I teach them, And so it's going to take a minute for everybody to kind of learn, for you to learn, for your family to learn, for everybody to get on board. It might be good to have a family meeting and say, hey, Mama's trying something new. And just kind of let everybody know that this is what's going on, because people can't help you or know what's going on unless you tell them. And I do understand that sometimes you tell them and they still don't help you, but you have just got to decide that this is a journey that you're going on, that this is about you. And it's not necessarily about, obviously you're blessing your house for your family, but the process that you're going through to learn how to do it is more about you kind of getting comfortable in your role as that home manager than it is about whether or not they help you or they're team players or this or that. And I know that can be frustrating. I think the big thing is you have to let go of the idea of perfect. You have to let go of the idea of Pinterest living, which I will say this, I have friends who have Pinterest-worthy houses that always look like that. I mean, always. I could, FaceTime them in the middle of the afternoon and their house still looks like that, But you have to give yourself some grace to be able to not be perfect, to not do it perfectly, for it to not look perfect. Because people live in houses. Your kids are going to play in your living room. Sometimes their toys, which are not perfectly aesthetically pleasing colors, are going to be in your living room. There's going to be things. The big thing is, are you happy in your home? How does your mental health feel in the space that you're in? If the clutter and the things not being clean and everything is really driving you crazy, then let's go on this journey together, to be accountable, to try and work on it. And let's give up the idea that we have to be perfect while we're doing it.
So let's look at some of the resources that we have with Flylady. One of the first things we have is her app. I know I was showing this to you earlier. In her app, she has all of her routines, your progress, her checklists, her different routines. She's got her morning routine laid out, and you can check it off as you're doing it. You can click on, your weekly home blessing and check off as you've done that. So that way you can keep track of what you're doing. And I also like to I like to check boxes. And you can keep that all organized there. She's also got your zones laid out, and this is where those detailed cleaning lists come in. You can see here as you scroll through, it'll tell you what zone you're in, what zone is coming up. And since it's always set to the calendar, you'll always be on the same schedule as her, so to speak. You can also change what's on the list. You can also change what your zone is in order to kind of customize it for the way that you want it to be. Because again, this is for your house. But those special cleaning lists in there kind of give you those ideas where to go deeper, where to find deeper cleaning, detailed cleaning, all of those things for when you inevitably get to the point where you actually need some suggestions on what in your house might be dirty because you've been following your routine for a while. There's also the Flylady website, flylady.net, where she talks every single day. There's things that she uploads as far as like devotionals, food for thought. She has book ideas. Of course, she has her book. She also tells you what zone that you're in and what you're working on, and you can click on different things. She also has basically how to get started with the Flylady if you want a little more detail as to what to do and when to do it. It's a really good website. There's a lot of information on it.
I'm going to spare you me blow drying my hair because it'll be loud and I don't want you to have to deal with that. But thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you understand that my goal in these Flylady videos is to share resources. There's another resource I'll be sharing in a video pretty soon that has to do more with the mental health side of cleaning. Because that is a big deal. And I hope that you also understand that there is no shame here. There is no shame here because we are all trying. We're all trying. We're all doing our best. We are all taking what we have up until this moment and doing everything that we can to do the very best that we can. And sometimes we're really hard on ourselves. And sometimes we're really hard on the people around us because inside of us, we feel a little bit lost and we're not really sure what to do. And so there is no shame in this channel. There's no shame in your mama game. We're going to get through this. It's going to be fine. So join me with these Flylady videos. We've gone through some of the basics, and I'll actually be showing you cleaning my own house. And so you're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm going to try and help you while at the same time holding myself accountable to get things done. Until next time, take care of yourself. You're precious cargo, you're valuable, and you matter. And why? Because Mama said so.